Compass is certainly the most SUV for Jeep right now, and that's not just for India but other markets as well. And the fact that India is currently the only and it is the first country to manufacture the right-hand drive version of the Compass makes it even more special. With a design similar to the more expensive Grand Cherokee, the Compass certainly looks promising, and Jeep tells us it has the same rugged DNA underneath its skin. So clearly there's a lot riding on the broad shoulders of the Compass, and we are going to be driving it right now on and off-road to understand it better. If it's a Jeep, it has to be a capable off-roader, and Jeep tells us that the Compass is the most capable compact SUV ever. So we began with an off-roading session to put that claim to test. The course was a 3.5-kilometer long track with mud, slush and even a river crossing. But before we get started, let's take a quick look at what's under the hood. What we are driving is the diesel version of the Compass powered by the 2-liter Multijet II engine that's new for India. It makes 173 PS of power and, interestingly, comes mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. Now there is a 7-speed automatic on offer as well, but that's only with the 1.4-liter petrol engine. The Compass comes equipped with Jeep's Select Terrain system that lets you choose from auto, snow, sand and mud modes. Power is sent to the front wheels primarily, but Select Terrain can also power all 4 wheels at a mere twist of the rotary knob behind the gear lever. The incessant rains on the day of our drive threatened to dampen our spirits, but the Compass seemed totally unfazed. I chose mud from the modes offered by the Select Terrain system since wet soil and muck is what we were to drive on. But first up was the river crossing. And from behind the wheel, the Compass made crossing this stream feel a lot easier than I expected. The bigger challenge though was the climb up this steep incline. It looked daunting from the bottom, but hill hold assist and ample traction from the Firestone tires made me feel almost as if the surface beneath was tarmac. Not to mention, a gentle throttle was enough to climb up with ease. Driving ahead through the mucky sections was proof enough of how well the system was calculating the amount of power being sent to each wheel depending on how much traction it needed. What's more, the Compass also offers plenty of ground clearance, and we never had a problem going over any of the rocks and ruts on the course. And while we did not get an official number from Jeep for the ground clearance, spec sheets are expected to quote a figure lower than expected due to a change in the norms regarding the measurement of a vehicle's ground clearance. The Compass also impressed me with how easily it could go around tight turns despite its overall length of almost 4.4 meters. The experience with the Compass off-road has convinced me that it is indeed an extremely capable SUV and it lives up to the expectations of being a Jeep. Off-roading done, it's now time to see how the Compass feels on-road, being driven the way most owners would. While the engine seemed to offer enough and more grunt at low revs off tarmac, on tarmac I was left wanting for some more shove at low speeds. You have to ensure the engine is spinning above 1800 RPM to make the most of the 350 Nm of torque it produces. Acceleration could have been punchier too, though once you get to speeds, the Compass is happy cruising on open roads. The engine could have also been a bit quieter as there is a fair bit of engine noise that comes inside, especially at higher revs. But the engine noise aside, the cabin is very quiet and Jeep tells us they've worked hard on reducing noise levels with lots of packaging and noise deadening in the doors and the floor pan as well. Quietness of the cabin aside, it's the handling that impressed us immensely in the Compass. Given how good it is off-road, we were expecting the Compass to not feel sporty on the road. But it surprised us. And one of the biggest reasons for that is the frequency-sensitive damping its suspension offers. The suspension can change the damping depending on the road surface or your driving style and offer a great balance between a good ride and sporty handling. Chucking the Compass into corners hastily was never a problem, as was driving fast over bumpy, broken roads, and the ride quality was extremely good. The perfectly weighted feel and feedback from the steering wheel were very impressive too, as the feel was particularly good for an electrically assisted steering system. Clearly, Jeep has got the dynamics of the Compass spot on, which should make it a great SUV to drive, be it on-road or off it. When it comes to on-road presence, the Compass has loads of it. It looks like a smaller Grand Cherokee with the squared 7-slat grille and rectangular headlamps. With its kind of design, the Compass looks properly upmarket and modern while also looking tough the way a Jeep should. The Jeep badge on the hood and the name of the SUV on the lower half of the front doors look eye-catching, while the square-shaped wheel arches are a trademark Jeep design. I also like the chrome line surrounding the glass area all around, which separates the black roof from the rest of the bodywork. Design cues like the shark fin-shaped C-pillar and Iron Man-inspired taillights grab your attention too. The build quality is in line with the SUV's premium positioning, and the Compass feels solidly put together.
The design of the interiors is good and even reminds of the Cherokees in certain ways. I also like the fact that the top of the dashboard uses soft touch plastics, but that said, some of the plastics, the harder ones, especially on the door panels, could have been of a slightly better quality. The dashboard and the interiors do have a solid feel though, which adds to the sense of premiumness. The seats are finished in white leather, which look nice, but I am afraid they'll start looking dull very soon in our conditions.
The Compass offers a good amount of legroom and knee room to rear seat occupants, though the short overall height means headroom will be restricted for taller people. The rear seat also feels comfortable as the seat back is set at a good angle and there's ample under-thigh support too. Seating a third person could be an issue though, due to the contour of the seat bottom and the transmission tunnel. The feature list is pretty elaborate, and this is the limited variant that comes loaded with dual zone air conditioning, Apple CarPlay, an Android Auto and a reverse camera with guiding lines. There are a few misses though. Even the driver's seat has to be adjusted manually, and the inside mirror does not get auto dimming either, but the Compass does get an electric parking brake. There is no cruise control on offer yet, though the steering wheel has a set of blank switches which tells us Jeep could offer cruise control later. Audio controls are placed rather oddly and sit under the steering wheel. The touchscreen is a 7-inch unit and has a crisp resolution, but a bigger 8-inch screen would have been better. The Compass does not get a sunroof yet, though we expect it to be offered later. Also, the tailgate has to be opened and closed manually, though we were expecting it to be a powered unit. The Compass is well equipped on the safety front too, and the limited variant we drove gets 6 airbags, while rollover mitigation is standard.
Jeep is a brand with over 70 years of legacy in making some of the most capable SUVs in the world, and the Compass certainly feels like an excellent product to enter that fascinating world. It looks stunning, and I can tell you that the Compass is probably the best looking compact SUV yet. Our experience in it tells us that the Compass is highly capable off tarmac, and it feels very engaging to drive on-road as well with its sporty and confident handling. We don't know the pricing yet, but when launched, we expect the Compass's pricing to start from about 18 lakh rupees and go up to about 24 lakhs. And if priced well, Jeep certainly has a winner on hand with the Compass, as it has the potential to help Jeep enjoy the kind of cult status it enjoys globally as an SUV maker.